Y'all know it's season 3, so K. Creme had to come back and do it lovely. Bow. AKC get in your seat, it's almost time for SNG. We want sexy, we want gritty, and we know we only get it in NYC. AKC get in your seat, it's almost time for SNG. We want sexy, we want gritty, and we know we only get it in NYC. I know other motherfuckers have tried, but there's only one SNG by KC, and that's Sunday. She's live. I know y'all ready for the spice. New episode drop Monday, right? We talk nasty, classy, teach you shit, might have you change your fantasy. Have you wanna taste some cream? You never know what SNG. Just tune in, she'll change your life respectfully. AKC getting your seat, it's almost time for SNG. We want sexy, we want gritty, and we know we only get it. Hello, and welcome to Sex and the Gritty in New York City. I'm your host, K. Creme, and you are now tuned into a very special episode, a very spicy episode. I should say, wink, wink. And I'm going to have my very special guest introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Courtney. I am the founder of Spicy Studios, which is basically a platform that dedicates freedom to your sexual thoughts. So yeah, I'm here with Sex and the Gritty in NYC with K. Creme.
Hello. And yes, I'm so ready to get into it because, you know, sometimes I have to ease people in, but I know I could just jump right into...
Oh, girl, I need no lube.
Okay, exactly. And so we're here. And so what is your favorite position, my love?
Honestly, I do like the cheat code of the side stroke with the flick of the clit.
Okay.
That's
you know, I think that might be the first time I heard that one up here. I am so happy to have a new favorite position. Yes, so we hitting it from the side with the flick of the clit.
Yes.
Okay, and what does that exactly do for you? Is it the double stimulation? Is it like, oh my God, like the sensory overload?
Yeah, well, yeah, because it's the double sensation of like something being penetrated in me and also like being stimulated with my clit. So it's like that, and then once I orgasm, it's like boom. Like,
and
so shit.
Are you like a don't touch me after I orgasm, or are you like a we could go again?
I don't like to be touched. I don't like to be touched. Don't touch me.
I know. Oh my God.
I hate it. Don't touch me.
And you know what's so crazy? Like, I swear I used to be the one that could like come and just go right again. But with my boyfriend, like he would giving me head and I just be like, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then he got this new thing where he was like, okay, well, you know what? Babe, you know that moment where you're like, okay, I'm done. Well, I want to see what happens after that. And it's like, no. There's nothing after that. I don't have any cum left, and you have to stop. And that's where we're at with that, you know? And he's just like, no. There's more. And so lately, I've been tapping out. I've been like tears coming out of my eyes from the. I mean, it's so good though. It's just, it is. It's a great experience. Also like, don't fucking touch me. I'm done.
I know. But I hate when they keep going. And you're like trying to wait. Like they have you in that. Like you got them in a headlock. And you're like, all right, like you're gonna die. Do you want me to choose violence after I come?
Bro, and then it be the point where you pushing their head away and they're like holding on to your thighs and like it's like, sir, what are you trying to achieve?
They're choosing violence and I choose violence back.
And it's crazy because I know he can't breathe down there. So it's just like, first of all, the thighs is suffocating you.
Right.
And then I'm squirting like, and my orgasm is really like a of water. It's just like, breathe, sir, let it go. Like, you know, that's not what we're trying to do here today.
Right.
But I mean, all right, so there's this thing, right? So I've been looking up, so as I get further into, you know, Sex and the Gritty, I like to explore more things that I don't know about the world of sex.
Yeah.
And so I talk about my secret Twitter a lot.
Okay.
And so
You have a burner account?
I do.
I treat my current Twitter as a burner account, but I just be posting random shit.
The thing about it is, I don't want to be up like in lesbian threesomes at 4 a.m. on my regular account because, you know, it goes right onto everybody's news feed. And they're like, look at this horny ass bitch.
Yep.
And so I have a burner account of which my wildest fantasies and desires are, you know, they're displayed and retweeted. And as of recently, I started liking MMF Threesomes.
Male, female threesomes?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? It's pretty common that women have a fantasy of having sex with two men at the same time.
But it wasn't there before. Like, I mean, I guess because I've done the old woman, I've done the foursome, and I've done the, you know, it's just like, I guess I'm like, well, what didn't I express? And it's just like, I know my partner is like, he would never. Like, he's not into the bullshit.
Right.
But sometimes I feel bad because it's just like, I be thinking about it. And sometimes, like, when I, like, let's say that he's tired and, like, we're both sleeping, but for some reason I can't sleep and I have to get up. So now I have to get the vibrating because I need to go to sleep. I don't want to be up.
Right.
And then I think I'll be referring back to my secret Twitter because, you know, Twitter porn is like the best porn. It's so authentic. And so
because it's amateur. Some of it's amateur.
And
so
it's the
like
best.
Better.
I feel like the amateur porn is like.
That's like my go-to category when I watch porn is amateur. Yeah.
Because it's like, it's real.
Right.
Like, you really want to fuck it.
It's not like, oh, I got to go in the corner and I have to use the cock ring to like make you hard again. Like,
they really want to fuck and you can see it. And I love energy. I'm all about energy. Like, that's definitely on the Sunglasses Live. You know, we rate the energy. We were like, nah, that's what
I thought we was doing today. I was like, about to see vagina busted wide open.
You were so ready for the fuck shit. You know what? We're gonna have to start bringing the sunglasses back live every Friday because I be getting cursed out, but it's just like everybody be missing it. So, you know, we're gonna make a day and you're gonna join the next one. So you can help rate.
Can I? Because I want to rate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much freaking fun. But especially because, you know, I put up wild videos.
Yeah.
I put up things that necessarily everybody won't agree with, but as non-biased as we are in SNG, because there's no bullet, there's no man over here. So, you know, there are things that I want to show, but I'm like, I don't want to lose the grasp of certain people, but I know that women do think about this. Yeah, no,
they absolutely do. So my question to you is that you said you're into MMF threesomes. Like, there's a difference between the threesome and a train. So is your fantasy to have a train ran on you?
And so again, I always say that definition. So when I heard you say it on Spicy Studios to Kami, I was like, yo, she is so me. Like, that is so my definition. So again, a threesome means that we're all having sex with each other. A train, I do not desire to have a train ran on me. Okay. But I mean, I do dip and dabble a little bit in the fantasy of it's just. Okay, I mean, we say MMF threesome, right? Because it is male, female, but I don't know. I think it makes it sound dirtier to some people. They just feel like wrong. But I mean, I've always wondered what the dynamic of sex would be between me and a bisexual man.
Okay,
you know, I've never experienced that, right? And so, I mean, I right now, as I fantasize, of course, it turns me on. Right. But I'm just like, I don't know. Like, does anybody else out there have these fantasies? Like,
I think at some point, every woman has a fantasy of.
Have you ever wanted to act on it, though?
Wanted to act on it? No. But do I watch it? Yes.
Yeah, so it definitely does get you to that nut. And it's crazy because, again, it's just so out of the box nasty that I guess and it's like after we done it, be like, all right, get this off my screen.
Wait, so I think now I have to ask you, what is the oddest, because I do these things called Spicy Poll Wednesday, and we ask our audience, like, okay, these like questions, and I repost them with funny memes. But my question is to you is like, what is the strangest porn category you ever like peeked into?
Yeah, and honestly, I think MMF has got to be it, because bisexual threesomes are pretty much everything in sex. It's everything. It's a guy eating ass. It's a girl eating ass. It's a guy getting fucked. It's a girl getting fucked. Yeah. It's like everybody's sucking something. And it's just like, it's just like so much fun to watch. It's just like, oh my God, what's she about to do with her hole? And oh my God, she has 2 holes. He has 1 hole, but he has another mouth. And it's just like, wow. Yeah. It's just so much to watch. But then again, I do get that, all right, get it off my screen feeling.
Well, that's post-nut clarity. I feel like everybody goes through that.
Post-nut clarity, though, makes me wonder if I truly would enjoy the dynamic, because I don't ever want to have sex with somebody and then look over and be like, all right, ew.
Well, I think that's like the taboo of sex, right? Like, and that's what like Spicy Studios do. We try to like break these taboos of like, yuck, or ooh, like, because, you know, somebody's yuck shouldn't be somebody's.
That's definitely what we do here at SNG. So I feel like we're going to blend so well in terms of dynamic. But again, I want to know about how you truly find out what you desire. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to stay and be like, okay, well, I don't want it. And then I find out I really do want it. And then, it becomes a strain on my relationship, because I know for a fact I wouldn't get it that way. How do you get around that? Like, do I ask for a break? Do I go ahead and like go freak off? I mean, I know it would never happen, but it's just like, what do you do with these fantasies at this point? If you watch a category so nasty and it always works for you, does it just stay your nasty category? Like, I don't want to be those women that be like 40 just trying lesbianism,
I think what it is like, for me personally, I feel like there's a lot of fantasies I would never act out, because it's just that like
it's so wild.
It's like not even it's wild, and it's like sometimes I want to keep something to myself and I don't want to like share it. I'm that type of person where it's like I'm that type of person where it's like, okay, this is something for me. I don't want to share this part of me because this is me. This is something I want to keep close to me. I don't want to share it with my partner. I don't want to share it with, you know, my girlfriends. Like, this is something that I just want to keep and co-cherish to me. Like, do I want to act out on it? No. So, like, I mean,
I feel like, and it's crazy because I was offered the opportunity to engage in one. But the characters...
Wait, what stopped you?
The characters of... Okay, well, one person I felt like, okay, it was cool, but the other... It was just totally wrong.
And I think it's important.
You know, it's very important that the energy of the people that you're about to have sex with is right.
Right.
Because if you feel something's off, it usually is, and you definitely should not be having fucking sex with that person.
Right.
But again, you know, being the fact that at that time, it wasn't really a fantasy of mine.
Right.
And so when it was presented, it was like, you know,
because that's probably something you want to keep to yourself. It's probably something you don't want to act out because it's like, this is my little dirty secret that I want to keep.
My real little dirty secret because again, I'm so satisfied sexually with my boyfriend. It's not like I'm, you know, thinking about other things while we're fucking. I think that is when it's an issue. Like, I think that's when a fantasy is too far.
Right.
Like, that's something you need to actually act on because it might put a rift in your relationship. But no, it's not like that. It's not like I'm just like craving more and not telling him. It's more so along the lines of, is it something that I want to never explore? Is it my dirty little secret? You know, how do you determine what's too far? Because I feel like when people come on SNG, I typically try to get them to test their limits of nasty. Like, I want to test your limits. I want to open up your mind to the possibility that there may be even more pleasure in sex for you. That there are so many other avenues to attain even more levels of pleasure in the same type of sex you're having with the same person. Yeah. And so, again, where do I draw the line? Like, you know?
I feel like as humans, we're curious. We're curious creatures.
Aren't we?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh
we're
God.
Curious. I feel like we're curious
creatures.
The things
I be seeing on fucking line, it's genius. Black people are fucking geniuses when it comes to sex, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to pornography. I think ebony porn is really underrated.
Girl, that's the only porn I watch.
I think it's underrated.
Sorry.
I think it's kind of underrated only because, like, when I first was watching porn, I never used to watch Twitter porn. I used to try to start off with like X videos and everything. I really wasn't into porn like that. I just recently started getting into porn, and so I was trying to get into like X videos, and the ebony porn that was, you know, choreographed and like written out, it just does not fucking do it for me. But
have you ever looked at amateur ebony porn on these websites?
Not on these websites, but then I found Twitter porn. And then Twitter porn fixed everything for me because everybody is fucking amateur and it all looks fucking good.
So, so there's amateur ebony porn on these websites.
I haven't actually looked into amateur porn on the sites because, again, you know, even I heard about Pornhub and like the sex trafficking that was going on.
I don't like Pornhub,
I know, and so it was just like, you know what, I don't really want to support these sites in that manner. I'll get it from the real sources. Like, these are real people, like, are on Twitter at 4 a.m. They're like, look at my pussy. Like, I need to sit on someone's face. And it's just like, yo, that is crazy. Like, wow. You know?
And would there's also OnlyFans.
Would you ever hook up with someone to do a threesome that you met online?
Probably no, because I feel like people are crazy. I just feel like, you know, you can portray yourself as being one person behind the screen, behind the keyboard, and then like in person it's something totally different. I'm scared of that. Okay. Because I'm just like,
have you ever had a threesome?
No, I haven't actually.
Do you want to?
I've like fantasized of like MMF like threesomes before, but I don't think I would ever act on it.
Okay, and about the 2 women and a man?
2 women and a man? No, I don't think it's not really my steez.
Okay.
Like, I'd rather, it's not my steez.
So you've never had a lesbian experience, and you've never really wanted to try?
Well, I had some in the past, but it weren't like anything like explicit, like, you know, like, oh
like
my
a little
God,
kissing,
but it wasn't
titties. It wasn't really like fat mom was coming out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and I mean, it makes sense too, because if you think about it, I know a lot of women who they think they like girls, and then when it comes down to it,
they don't really
like girls.
And that's my thing is like I find women to be beautiful, but I just don't find them like I want to sexually engage with them.
And
like,
and it's like. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of women should know what line that is as well, because I mean, we don't ever want to get, especially as a woman who likes women, I don't ever want to run into a woman who's really not about that shit and we're about to have sex, because it's just like, what do you mean you don't know what to do with that?
And I've heard like some of my friends who are into women, they've seen like, yo, I can see her tensing up and I can see that she wasn't about that life. So I just like I stopped, because it's like, I'm not gonna, you doing this because you're on your rebel shit.
Exactly.
And like, I don't want to be a part of that.
Exactly. And then I don't think that straight women take into account that lesbians do have feelings, and this is their predominant form of sex. And so when you come in here and, you know, you get the head and you get the caress and the foreplay, and then it's time for you to reciprocate, and then unless you have a touch me not, because you know there are some touch me nots where you are allowed to be a pillow princess,
right?
And I feel like if you maybe want to, you know, start out as a pillow princess, you should look for people who are okay with that, and not looking for someone, you know, who wants to do it back, and you're just at the end of the pussy like, I don't know.
You said something very interesting. You said, you know, lesbians have feelings too, because I do feel that some women who all of a sudden want to be in their lesbian like acts or explore it, they think, oh, I could just use this woman to get my, you know, whatever off, and then dip, and it's like, that's not fair.
And I feel like, again, a lot of people, because they had these fantasies and they had them locked up for so long, it's like, you're being frantic when you're trying to act on it at a point, because it's like, I will take anything to just understand what it feels like. And I want to establish a line to where you know, okay, this is a little more than a fantasy, and it's something that I really do need to explore. Because, again, it can cause a rift in certain relationships. Because if you're not getting it and you don't express that to your partner, you might want to run off and find it elsewhere. Again, you know. I
think that's a communication thing where it's like, you know, if you feel like you're not getting something, or you feel like, hey, I kind of want to explore this, I think it's okay to like mention it to your partner and see how they react to it. Like, I remember with my partner, I was like, I want to try anal plugs.
And how did that go?
He was like, yeah. I was like, I have them. I have like the training things right here. He was like, yeah, we can try it. Now I pussied out, but
really, oh my god, I was so ready for the story.
I did. I've pussied out, but like I want to do it again. Like the conversation's gonna come up again, and it's me. It's not him. I'm like,
and so that was me too, because again, I love to get my ass ate. It's just almost like a fetish for me. Like, my ass, thanks, you know, thanks.
Right.
But when it came to the anal sex, I was just like, no. I mean, and I tried it several times. Over the course of several years. It just does not do it for me. Like,
and that's okay.
And it's crazy because I'll be watching the porn. I'm like, damn, she's getting fucked in her ass, and she's enjoying that shit. And I'm just like, I want to enjoy that.
But you know, you don't want to force it either, right?
And that's why I haven't. Like, even we have the anal plugs, and so we tried it one time, and it felt good. Yeah. But then the next time I was like, Is this the same size as it was last time? Because it's a little large. Yeah. And then, I mean, it's like, I know I'm going to get there, but I'm going to give myself time. Because, again, I'm not ready. Like, I mean, I want to enjoy it. And it almost pains me that it pains me. What it does. It's like, damn, I want to get there. I want to be able, I want to know what it feels like. I want to know, I mean, because the last couple of times, it just felt like my asshole was being ripped apart every time he pulled back. Like, when he went in, it would hurt for a while, but then it would be good. Yeah. But then when he went out,
yeah, I've had anal sex before, and that's exactly how it feels. It's weird because like I've had anal sex before, but it was one time back in college, and then back in college, and then I've never tried it after that. Right. And so like I was like, I wonder how.
Did you go all the way, or did you just like stick it in?
We went in, and I was like, my butt cheeks were so clenched, like I was like, and so he was like, relax. I'm like, how can I fucking relax? There's an old ass dick in me, and my ass.
Let me tell you, I swear, and it's just like I know I have to relax, but I'm like, wait, why the fuck can't I relax? Like this is something that I want. Like a finger, totally cool.
So there's the line, right? So we're looking for the line.
I know.
There's the line.
And so that's literally what I'm trying to get at. So it's just like I figured out right now I'm at the line where fingers and tongues. Okay,
Great.
it's great.
Everything else
is a little too much. And
right.
It's like the anal plug I have. Yeah. It's like a little it's like the bunny tail.
The furry tails.
It's so freaking cute.
Yeah.
And it's like I really wanted to. I want to be laying on the bed one day. Like when he comes in the room, I just have the bunny tail, sticking out my asshole, and it's just like, yeah, come fuck me. And I want to have the bunny ears on it and everything. Like, oh, Easter's coming up. Maybe I should, right?
But if you're not going to like it, we're talking about lines here, right? If you're not going to like it, don't cause it.
I don't think that I will take the anal plug out. I think we'll just have vaginal sex.
Okay.
But I'll still be fucking a bunny. Come on.
Okay. Are you going to put it in yourself?
I think that when he puts it in, it's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, taking it out, if it's not moisturized at the point, it's like excruciating.
Yeah.
And so I think we're gonna use lube.
Yeah, I was gonna say lube is like,
because spit only works for so much and then it dries up.
No,
so we have water-based lube.
Okay, I was gonna say I can recommend some water-based lube.
We got water-based lube because we got his penis pump a couple weeks ago, and so
How is that?
Oh my God, we named her Keisha.
Okay,
we named her Keisha, by the way. Shout out to Keisha, because on some days I don't feel like sucking dick. We be pulling that bitch out the fucking box. You hear me? Okay.
Wait,
Keisha,
you have days that you don't like want to suck? I feel like I always want, like when I'm with I always want to suck his dick.
It was like that, right? But then when you start living together, it's just like there's some days where we feel like being friends. And then, again, him being in the house attracted to me, he was like, so babe, you don't want to? And I'm like, you know what? We got Keisha in the box.
Keisha in the box.
Keisha in the box. And then it always ends up turning into a double masturbation session, which leads to sex.
Right.
So, we get there, but sometimes I'm not in the mood. Like I think we should discuss that as well. Like sometimes when your partner's in the mood and you're not. And so that doesn't mean you guys don't necessarily have to have sex. It means that your partner can take steps to get you in the mood, or then you guys can move on.
Right.
And so, he's always very good with that. Like, he'll never push me. He'll never beg. Sometimes when he acts, I have to laugh because he acts so funny. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. Let me suck a dick.
Right.
Let me suck a dick. Let me suck a little nigga something. You feel me? And so, our relationship is just, the dynamic is so great where it says some days we don't have to have sex to even be, to be intimate. And,
that's the thing that I feel like a lot of people don't understand is that, there's other ways of being intimate with your partner. You don't have to have sex. There's cuddling, there's kisses. Like for me, I like to be kissed all over, like repeatedly, really fast. And it's like, that's a form of intimacy for me.
That is so cute, though.
I know, I love it. And it's like, he's like, you're such a baby. I'm like, I know, I just love it, though. Just do it all over my neck.
It's so funny, too, because, when I got my boyfriend, I was teaching him a lot about his body that he didn't really know because he never really had someone who wanted to explore and really figure out his spots. Bitches would see his dick, look at the size, and be like, okay, let me get the dick. They never took the time to explore his body and figure out his love languages. And, and so on the time that I was taking to explore his, he was learning mine.
Right.
And this combination of sex that we have is dangerous. And like, we don't just do one session. If I get head, he gets head.
Right.
And then, you feel me? And then after those nuts, we're going 3, 4, 5 rounds after that. And like, he's coming back up. It ain't I'm not fucking a gummy.
Girl.
Yeah.
I'm good after 2 rounds.
And you see, and there be some nights where I need Keisha because I know that's 1 round out the way. Yeah. After Keisha come, you feel me?
I'm sorry.
After Keisha, when he feel my actual pussy is gonna be, sometimes I have to, you have to know your customer. I say this all the time. And so I gauge the amount of sex he's gonna need by what's going on. And sometimes Keisha is not enough because he knows what my mouth really feels like. Yeah. But it's always a really good start, and so my mouth doesn't have to do as much.
As much work. So
as much work. Prepared. Because, again, Keisha, she moans.
Yeah.
Okay?
Wait.
Keisha moans.
Wait, I think I saw this on your... Yes. I was like, I didn't tap into it because I was at work.
Yes.
Like, actually in the office. Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, let me just...
Keisha moans.
That's
it's
weird.
So fucking funny. I know, it's just the funniest thing we've ever fucking heard. But
does it turn him on? Does that moaning turn him on?
No, it was just so fucking funny. Like, we don't actually use it because it's Chinese made, and so you have to have like the old headphones instead of the iPhone headphones, and so it doesn't make noise out loud.
Oh, you have to put the headphones. That
in.
is very funny.
Exactly, and so it's just like, I'm like, we named her because she has a voice. Who has a voice and doesn't want to be named, right? So we named her Keisha, and it's fun. And again, I have the that wand thingy that sucks your vagina.
Oh yeah, I saw that at the Sex Expo before Rona happened, and I was like, ooh. How is it though?
I mean, it popped up on my secret Twitter for a while before I was like, you know what? Let me really fucking try this toy because I mean, everybody's raving about it. And at first,
I've heard some people didn't like it though.
Right. So at first, when I got it, I wasn't using it correctly. And so the experience I had, I was like, it wasn't really it. It doesn't really suck your vagina like a person. I tried again. That motherfucker sucks your clit. It sucks it. Like,
see, I don't like my clit to be sucked.
And so again, that's why I said it's very hard to gauge it because some people, that sucking would be too hard.
Yeah, I like flicking.
And then they have the flicking of the tongue.
Yeah, the little pink piece. Yeah.
So, and then it's an actual, like, it's shaped like a tongue. And then it also moves up and down like a tongue. And it has different speeds. And so you can take off the suction part. Yeah. And you no longer have that hard sucking. You just have the flick.
Okay.
But I mean, I kind of do like a suck, but it's just a little too hard.
Yeah. I think have to, like, if they had levels to the sucking, maybe.
And so I feel like that's where we're at now. Yeah. Like, maybe I have to move it back. Sometimes I'd be cheating by putting more of my vagina in. Yeah. So it doesn't get the whole clit to suck, you know? But again, my vagina is really fat. And so trying to I feel like a lot of black women's vagina. And it's not.
A
lot of toys are made in China. Yeah. And so they're made to mimic the Chinese vagina.
And like black women, our lips are a little bit bigger. That's why, like,
if should be hanging out of old Victoria's Secrets.
That's what I was just about to say. Like, I'm literally wearing some right now, and I'm like, why?
Girl, I have on a red thong, and my pussy lip is over the shit like
I'm
this
like,
right
now. I'm like, literally like, yo, this is mad uncomfortable.
Like, what you doing? But this shit is out there right now. I'm telling you, it'd be the funniest shit ever. And it's like, I can't go up a size because my waist is getting smaller. Right. So it's just like, I don't have a choice but to have the,
because I can't wear a medium because my shit's going to be like dragging down.
And I mean, I did switch over to some Fenty, but again, like 5 for $25, where can you go wrong? I mean, it's just like, come on, let's go. I love Victoria's Secret. I love the panties. I mean,
the reason why I don't like Fenty is because I don't like that it doesn't have this, like, you have to buy the sets separate, like not separately, but like if you have bottoms, it's hard to find the top somewhere on the site. So I use Adore Me, and I know it's not black owned, but I feel like the experience for me is just a little bit better because I can get the matching bras with like 5 different panties that's gonna go with it.
Okay, and it's also too because I just realized that, I mean, I only probably bought like 2 new pieces of lingerie since I've been in my relationship, and I'm just like, I threw out all of my old lingerie. I did not at all want to wear any lingerie I wore for anyone else with my man. Like, you feel me? Like, you get the fresh crotches. You know, this is a brand new pussy. You know how our vagina and our cells, everything regenerates every 7 years. Yeah. And so I'm like, come on, Pop, this is a new pussy. It's a new pussy. So listen, you okay? It's a new Benz driving well. Okay.
Mileage 0.
And it's funny because I be telling him all the time. I say, like I said, I was a virgin when I met you. Like, this love purified me. There's no one else.
But you know what's so funny? There's your sexual being or your parts will do things differently if you're loved correctly and if you're fucked correctly.
And it's so much so that was so much what I was getting at. Like, bro, the love that we share, it be making me blush during sex. And when I started to notice, I realized I was coming every time he made me blush during sex, and it would just be him fucking me, telling me I'm so beautiful. Like, why are you being so intimate? Oh my God, I cannot.
It's a different level.
And
it really is.
The thing again, being in love, it just puts a sugar coat on everything. Right. Everything's a little sweeter.
I think everybody deserves to have that feeling.
And I say that this is why I push and I preach communication, because communication is the most surefire way to get loved correctly. Because again, you won't hide from your partner the things you really need. You're definitely gonna open up and say, hi, I definitely need this in my love language. If you could just insert it, we'd be fine. And a person who genuinely loves you is going to insert that shit.
No, that's very true.
And it was so crazy to see how immediate my boyfriend fixed any issue I brought up. I mean, I almost got mad that he would fix it so fast because I would still have anger left and I wouldn't know what to do with it. I mean,
write it out, sis.
Like, and I mean, I'm telling you,
mad,
I had to run back to my fucking diary because Like, he was so understanding. And I mean, when a person genuinely does not want to lose you, they take certain steps and they put forth a certain effort, and it's consistent.
Truth.
Okay? Like, it's not a day where he doesn't wake up, kiss me, and tell me good morning, beautiful. Like, it's not a day. Like, it's not a day where he don't wake me up and be like, babe, what you want to eat for breakfast? You know, he takes breakfast over because he knows that breakfast is easy. He can handle that. And I can do dinner. And that's teamwork. And again, I feel like a fucking princess. I wake up as a spliff. There's fucking breakfast. I mean, it's dick if I want it. I love it here.
It's a platter. It's a fucking platter.
Bro. Like,
it's the platter for me.
Girl, I love it here. And I mean, again, to experience this genuine love, I had to go through heartbreak, right? And I think people hate when I say that, right? Because they think, oh, you shouldn't have to go through heartbreak to experience genuine love. But that doesn't mean that I stuck around with someone who didn't love me right until they did. Right. It meant that I took my time until I understood exactly what I needed to be loved.
And I think that's the thing, right? When you're going through the motions of relationships, you figure out what you want. And then I feel like there's also a part of, who am I outside of all of this?
And so I do tell a lot of young women, because I get a lot of DMs and they ask me a lot of questions, and it's mostly concerning relationships and men and heartbreak. And I always tell them the best way to get over heartbreak is to go out and try to learn something new. Take up a new class, pick up a new craft, start a new business, because you're going to meet an immense amount of people that you would have never ran into if you were sitting at home crying and trying to get over this person.
That is so true, because when I started Spicy Studios, it was, or when I was getting into the motions of it, it was because I was dealing with heartbreak, and I was like, you know what? Let's do something totally different. Let's start doing Spicy Po Wednesday. Let's go. And then now, like, we're almost a year in, and it's like, wow, I accomplished so much in a year because
I got up off my ass and I went out and I found something else to replace the void that I thought was missing. And a lot of women, when they break up with someone, they miss them so much. But I always tell them, it's not the person you miss, it's the routine. It's the routine of being able to call them.
Routine's a bitch.
Oh my God.
Being familiar with something is a bitch.
Girl, like having that person that you can just pick up the phone and call any time of the day, you know they're going to pick up on the first or second ring, even if it's to fucking argue. You know they're going to pick up. That is a big security blanket. That a lot of people do not like letting go of when it's time to let go of the person, because I mean, it's a lot. It feels like you're alone and you're cold, and you know you can't really trust a new person, and you know sometimes you have a rough day and you know what this person would say. You know the response you want, and you know they're gonna give it to you, and you're like, damn, I just want to text them. And then it just, sometimes the text don't even go the way you want it, so sometimes I end up in an argument. And again, so that heartbreak in itself essentially taught me that I don't like calling my partner and being heartbroken over the phone. I don't like when I call my partner because I'm in a good mood, I'm having a good day, and he ruins it. I don't like being treated like he doesn't care if I stay or leave. You know, I don't like being treated like a doormat. I don't like being the only one that's fighting for this team. And so
that's the biggest thing, and that's so that was my problem in my last relationship.
What exactly?
Like being, like, feeling like I was the only one fighting for it. I don't ever want to feel like that. Like, that shit, like that's a different excuse me, that's a different level of pain where it's like,
it is.
Damn, like I'm the only one who cares about what we got the fuck going on. Like, it's crazy.
The part that really hurts is like when y'all have an argument and then they come back and you're like, you know that they're still on thin ice, but they're acting like everything is okay.
Like, did you know what you just did?
You know that we're not good right now.
You know what the fuck you just did?
Kissing my ass. You're supposed to be roses and chocolates and petals and rubbing my feet. You're not good right now. I mean, you're here, but I'm waiting for you to earn my love back. Get it back. Come get it back in blood. Come get it back somehow, young nigga. Like, come on, Mr. Nigga. Like, I mean, and it's just like, come on. And it's crazy because these are things I do not experience in my current relationship. And I mean, I couldn't imagine it. So then my question is to you,
Kay, is, of course, what, because we're just talking, but like, so these fantasies of you having MMF, if you're pleased the way that you are, and it's okay for you to have fantasies. I'm a big person of like fantasize, get into things. what is your line? Because do you really want to act on this? Because it sounds like you're really like enamored in your relationship and you're really in love and you're loved the right way.
I know.
So what is this line for you?
This is why we're here today.
I need it because now I'm confused. I'm like, sis, what's the line?
Confused. And you know what? It's not even more confusion because again, I know that I'm completely satisfied. Like I don't yearn for anything else, but I'm curious. And
so that's what I'm saying. Humans are naturally curious.
I'm a person of interest. Like if I know about it, I have to learn about it. I have to research about it. I have to watch it.
Absolutely.
I have to intake it. And so generally the next step of learning is experience.
Right.
And so I'm stuck.
Because you know that your boyfriend's not going to be in for it.
I think he would slap me if he heard this part of the show. And he's never hit me, but I think that like he would box my blood clot. Okay? So it's not even like I can bring it up. And it's not like I would even try to disrespect him and bring it up because I know it's so far from his nature or anything that he would be okay with. Yeah. And so again, it's not like I'm in a box. Yeah. But I mean it is kind of like I'm in a box. But again, I'm not too unhappy in this box because again, this is something that may or may not satisfy me. It's something that may or may not be what I want.
Right. It may be something uncomfortable for you once you actually engage in it.
Exactly. And imagine I give up everything I want, need, desire, and I truly deserve for a fantasy that may not pan out the way I do it. Because again, what if I get the nut and I'm like, oh my God.
This ain't it.
Y'all niggas is...
You discuss it with yourself. You're like, post-nut clarity.
And then it's just like, fuck, I came into somebody's sex life who were happy. They were engaged in this sex. And then I made them feel bad because of me being unsure about what I want. And so that was really the lesson too. Yeah. Being sure about what you want and need. And again, weighing your options. Because if I have all this over here, a fantasy is just a fantasy. Because
and that's the point that I'm trying to...
It weighs so much more. So, I mean... Learning the lines was definitely something that I wanted to speak on because it's like, okay, I know if I struggle with this, and I mean, I'm me and I know better.
Oh, I struggle with it too.
There are a lot of people that may have this thought process. Like, you know, like even men, they may want a threesome with two women, but they know that their partner may never be into it. And then so they struggle. Right. And then where's the line? Where do they find refuge?
Right. You know, I had this conversation with my current partner. We were talking about threesomes, and I was like, oh, have you ever had a threesome before? He's like, yeah, I had it before. He's like, it's not really my thing. And I was like, I was kind of taken aback, and I was like, because I know men having two women at the same time, they're like, you know, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, they're gonna be so into it. He was like, yeah, it really wasn't my thing. And I was like, so I'm thinking like, okay, so like, there's no pressure on me to have the threesome. So I'm like, yes, I don't have to have the like, because that's
so
that's
again, that's really you got really lucky because you and your partner are aligned with your fantasies, and so you are it, and then he is it for you, right? And so again, if you guys end up wanting more, I'm pretty sure you guys will give it to each other because you guys aren't willing to go past the boundary of each other, right? And so that's the dynamic that is also it's safe, but then what happens to the other one when there is a partner who maybe want more, and it's not even just like want, it's just like curiosity. That curiosity, again, I feel like I don't know, because I don't want to say I have to rein it in because it's not really out of control. It's not like
not like you're actively looking. You're on the chat like black woman looking for bisexual black man.
Yo,
like, you know what I mean?
It's not like I'm out here on like secret dating sites like I'm looking, you know. So it's not that bad, but I guess I feel like if it ever would get that bad, I would have to tell him. Yeah. Like I would definitely bring it up because that is my best friend.
Maybe it's just something that gets you off right now. Like,
and then again, it's so weird because I feel like I have to sneak and get off to it because if he knew the videos I watch, he'd be so like, ew.
I feel like anybody would know the categories that we watch. They'd be a little bit like,
yo, women watch some really interesting things.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely. And I've watched transsexual sex before and I was turned on by it. I was like,
okay, did you see the Jimmy Smacks thing where he was sucking a tranny's dick?
No.
It kind of turned me on.
But that's the thing, right?
Like he was literally getting his face fucked. Like the tranny was like, yeah, suck my dick. And he had titties and they had titties and everything. And it was actually like,
but it
wasn't repulsive.
So that's the thing. Like a lot of women get turned, and it's not strange because a lot of women do get turned on by transsexual sex. I've watched it before and I'm like, wow, this is actually turning me on.
That's like the best of both worlds though. How would you, I mean, you got titties and you have a dick. I mean, he can pick you up and still, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, come on. The options for the fantasy in itself are endless.
But here's the thing, like that's where the line gets drawn because I know that I would never have sex with a transsexual man or woman. So that's where my line is drawn. It's like, this is just,
but then again,
how
do you know that it won't be presented to you in a couple of years and you might feel differently? Because I mean, I remember season 1, episode 1, like 2 minutes into the show, I was like, yeah, I would never eat a man's ass. And then we got there, and then, you know, I did that. And it's crazy
but things change, right? Things change over time. So like what's a fantasy now may stay a fantasy forever, or it might change. And that's what I'm saying. Like, until it gets to that point where you know that, like, okay,
I'm doing too much to hide it, that's when
you need to really have the conversation and be like,
and so, our thesis moment, basically, okay? Yes, we did. I definitely feel like it's okay to have a fantasy. Yep. It's okay to have a little dirty secret.
Yes.
But when it gets to a point where you're overwhelmed and you are actively searching for it on a sneak tip, you definitely do have to open up and have that communication. Like, everyone has fantasies.
Yeah, absolutely.
K-May has fantasies. It does not mean that I'm unsatisfied. Does not mean that I'm unhappy. It's natural, and it's also very healthy sexually for you to explore and learn more and just dive into maybe what you want to do or what you don't want to do. Like, even I mean, the Trey Songz video, people found it uncomfortable, and I was just like,
I don't like it because it's COVID.
Yeah,
and you just.
And so,
come on, man.
But that was my issue. My issue was COVIDity.
Right.
Okay? It wasn't the
new word, COVIDity.
COVIDity. It was the COVIDity of the situation, okay? It was definitely
on a scale of 1 to 10, how COVIDity was it?
I'm telling you, I mean, the COVIDity was pretty much like 9, 10. It was there because, I mean, pre-Rona, I would have been a little more wet.
Right.
The COVIDity changed.
Right.
Okay?
Like, I don't know about that.
And that was the only thing that made me uncomfortable. But when I seen the comments, I was like, damn, am I the only nasty one in here?
No, I think swapping spit, or just like, because I'm a pleaser in the bed. So if my man was like, can I spit in your mouth? I would be like, okay. Like,
exactly.
Like, we swap other shit. Like,
exactly. And
spit?
so, I mean, I'd rather enjoy when my man spits in my mouth. I feel like that's when he's really in his shit. That's when he's really in his nastiness.
Yeah.
When he's talking his shit, he's like, open your fucking mouth.
Like, exactly.
Please, like, spit in it. Hurry up. Like, you know, because it's a vibe and it's a trance.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe one day we'll go on vacation and, you know, like, we'll have like random sex with a couple.
Are you guys in an open relationship?
No.
Okay.
And so again, these are things that like are in my line of interest that maybe he may not be open to, but again, it's always there in the back of my mind. So one day if he said, yeah, I mean,
or did you ever try having a conversation about it? Or like,
yeah, we do. Again, that's like my best friend. Like, I mean, we are pretty much open, but I would never test his boundaries and disrespect him in that manner because I already know what is his boundary. I already know what his line is. And so if my fantasy crosses his boundary, it's not something I'm gonna bring up.
That's
you understand?
true.
But I mean, we talk about things all the time, and like he gives his honest opinion. Like he's never homophobic about anything I say because he knows I love everybody, and so he's very mature about it.
Right.
But he just knows. Like he doesn't even have to tell me no, because again, I know I will never ask you for something that would again disrespect your character.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so I mean, we're pretty good that way because I won't cross the line, and I know for myself, like, it's not necessary for me to cross the line, and I don't need it. And I mean, I'm happy with what I have.
And I think you also brought up another point that can add to your thesis, where it's like, if it crosses the boundary of my partner, do I go forward with this? And you don't, because you don't want to cross anybody's boundaries. You want to respect your partner.
Especially if it's not something that you absolutely cannot live without.
Exactly.
You don't want to cross that boundary because it's definitely not worth it.
Right? Of a fantasy and like, damn, I really got to have this, because like you said, you're going to start hiding it. You're going to start, you know, doing crazy shit. To hide it instead of act on it.
Exactly.
It's kind of like when... You know, when you hear a lot of gay men, kind of like when they come out, they're like, "Yo, this was like a burning sensation."
Yes.
So it's like,
so again, I want to just help everyone differentiate from what a fantasy is into a burning sensation. If you have that burning sensation, you need to address it and go out and handle that.
Yeah.
But if it's just a fantasy, I mean, you're also still very iffy on it. And so if it develops to a level to which you can't hold it, you know what to do.
Right.
Again, and if it crosses a boundary, you know who not to tell it to.
Exactly.
Okay? And okay?
Just keep it your dirty secret.
Just keep it your dirty secret, okay? And again, thank you so much for coming out and being so candid with me.
Of course.
I know we're gonna be on Spicy Studios.
Yes, on this Wednesday at 7 p.m.
At 7 p.m.
Yep.
So we're gonna be back with a whole lot more spice for you guys. I so totally appreciate everything that's going on in this episode because it's filled with so much gems. Like there's so much golden stuff in here for everyone. And again, it just shows everyone that even me, K. Creme the Freak, I'm still human and I still have boundaries and I still have fantasies and there are definitely ways to go about it. So, you know, if you get a fantasy after listening to SNG, you know how to handle it now, okay? Okay? And again, can you please tell them where to find you, my love?
Okay. Again, my name is Courtney Shav. You can find me on Instagram, only on Instagram. I mean, I'm on Twitter, but whatever. But Courtney Shav, so it's COURTNEY_Shav, SHAV. And you can follow my platform, which is The Spicy Studios, spelled out the way it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
And thank you so much for coming out, my love.
Yes,
and
thank you for having me.
Of course, honey. And SNG, we out.